And hello, I am back with another what if. Uh, disclaimer like usual, I stutter my words. And every Monday and Friday will be a what if. So this Friday will be another installment of my what if Deku had the eight gates and next Monday will be another addition to this what if, which is what if Deku had Nanami's curse technique, or was Nanami Nanami's reincarnation. I don't know what I want to call it. I feel like reincarnation will be better. Okay. Uh, let's start the what if right now. So we first go to when Izuku is at the Quirk Doctor. I want to as you can see, he's Nanami. Uh, he has the hair, like the hair collar, right? The blonde. He has the blonde hair collar, right? And instead of Inko, well, Inko is still his parent, his mother, and Hayashi is still his father. Um, but Inko and Mitsuki, Bakugo's mother, are sisters. So that's just the biggest change in this canon. Well, not canon. In this story, it's just the fact that Bakugo and Deku, are cousins instead of friends. Okay? And I just wanted to explain that because it will get confusing because he will look like Nanami. Okay? So let's get back to it. But we get there, Inko and Midoriya is there sitting in front of a quirk doctor, or a doctor in general. A quirk doctor, yeah. And Midoriya just got his quirk tested by the doctor. Uh, and he does have one. And the doctor says Izuku does have a quirk, but he doesn't know what to call it. So he tells him what the quirk is. If you watched Jujutsu, sorry, Jujutsu, well, JJK, okay, the anime where Nanami is from, if you haven't watched it. Jujutsu Kaisen, okay, there we go. Um, but it's his cursed technique ratio. So he tells him how it works. Deku, or Midoriya, uh, can create weak spots into his opponents, uh, to, like, if you've watched Jujutsu Kaisen, you would know how this works. I don't really know how to explain it, really. Okay, but yeah, we know it. And Izuku comes up with the name Ratio. See what I'm doing here? It's called Ratio. And, well, hold on. Let me get to that part. But the doctor says, uh, I don't know what to call it, but like, after he explained it, he says, I don't know what to call it. So he asked Inko and Deku, uh, if they have any recommendations of names, so that they can put it onto his medical card. Like, birth certificate? Well, I don't know what would you his medical card, I guess, is what you would call it. But Izuku comes up with the name Ratio, and yeah, it's but Uh, there has it had. I don't know really. I don't know what to do. Uh, yeah, that's what happens. Well, the doc he gets a quirk, and before they get like escorted out by the doctor says, "Uh, I would like to see this quirk in action. So let's go to the back, like into the training room, and see how this works. His quirk works, right?" And we get back there, and the doctor says to Midoriya, or Deku, really, uh, Deku, to imagine like a what a line. I don't remember what that's called. Like a ratio line. Is onto like this like a um like a big log, like a training post. Like if you ever watch Naruto, it's like one of the ones that Naruto gets tied up in like the first few episodes. That one. It's like just a wooden post, right? And uh he imagines there is one, and he can't see it with his eyes, but yet like he can, well, no, yeah, he can see it. He can see it with his eyes, but not it like it's translucent, like so he can only see the outline of it. And he goes for, well, if you ever seen Jujutsu Kaisen, you would know how this works. He hit the thing at the weak point, and it gets like almost broken in like two, but yeah, it doesn't. It's like halfway through, like a it's like halfway through, so it doesn't get fully put in half when Izuku hits it, but yet it's like halfway through, like the middle of it. I hope that explains enough. But the doctor's in shock of that how his quirk works, and so is Inko. So I'm sorry about the audio. There's construction still. But yet, um, yeah. So, but yeah, they're both shocked, like like their jaws drop. How in like anime, it's like over exaggerated, and it like legit drops to the floor. It would be like that. So, and but there, his Izuku's hand when he pulls it out of like the post, because his hand did go through the post like halfway. So he pulls it out and it's clearly scratched up and bloody. So like the doctor gets it gets it bandaged and bandaged. I'm so sorry. I I'm so sorry I studied this much. Uh it gets bandaged, healed up. Okay, I'm just gonna say healed up. I hope you all. I'm so sorry. But yet, yeah, it gets band healed up. Okay, not like fully healed, but like healed enough. But yet he, well, he pulls that hand and his hand gets healed up by the doctor. So now they're heading home. They're like a happy day. Like, I'm gonna go tell Kachan or something. But yet the next day, like the day was a like Saturday, so he has to wait another day, and he like shows everybody at school instead of just Kachan or Bakugo rather. And but yet he showed, well, nobody else can see it but him, so they think he's quirkless and just trying to make this up. But yet at first they think that he's faking and is quirkless until they see uh like the tree with a tire swing get like a limb of it like get fully chopped off and falls to the ground. And so now they know he is uh not corkless and not faking. But I also before we go to like the can like the when the first anime starts, I want to do a little bit of a time skip to when uh Deku is 8 years old and they get a new class member in how old would you be at 8 years old in school? Wouldn't it be like third grade? Yeah, third grade. Maybe fourth? No, third. Yeah, third grade. Until they get to third grade or eight when he's 8 years old, they get a new classmate in Denki Kaminari. So yeah, they will know each other longer, like before UA. So I wanted to go like time skip to lunch that day. So um Midoriya and Bakugo are sitting next to each other, and Midoriya like waves over Denki to come sit with them. And so walks to Bakugo and Midoriya, which those two just sit by themselves in like the lunchroom, and he waves over, and the only reason I want to bring you out of that. I want to tell you something I really want to do. I had this idea for this what if, and I wanted to make like someone how how Nanami and Gojo's friendship is in like JJ in Jujutsu Kaisen. I really wanted to have someone like that, but I could only think of like a couple people to fill that spot in, and I didn't want to put it like Bakugo because he would still act the same. I wanted to bring in like either Hiroshima or Kaminari. So I picked Kaminari out of the two. So to bring him in, right? So yeah, I just wanted to point that out there because I thought it was a very cool idea, and if I thought it was a good idea, so I wanted to put it out there. So yeah, and let's get back to the story. Okay, I'm sorry to go on as long as a rant as I did. But yeah, they would start talking, get to know each other a lot more as as a trio. They would always hang out with each other, train together. Uh, and now I'll time skip to the when the anime starts. Okay, so we get there. Um, well, yeah, it's the start of the anime, so it's when the villain appears. So those three are walking home because um they all live in like a similar area. So they would walk with each other. And um they would all say, "Hey, let's all hang out at your house, Midoriya." And Midoriya was like, "Okay, I guess." Because like Nanami is clearly like a chill person, like, yeah, I don't care, like type deal, right? So he's gonna act like, yeah, this is how this stuff works, I guess. But yet, but, uh, but yet they all go to the like under the bridge, and they all like stop in the middle of the area and look at like a what are those called? A manhole cover. They all look at it, seeing like it's moving, like, and they could hear like a booming, like a sound of something trying to come out. So they start to walk away, but it's too late. And Denki is in the back. Okay, so and the sludge villain grabs and gets around Denki, but yet he tries to fight it off, but he can't. And Bakugo and Midoriya are staring there wide-eyed, like shocked. But Midoriya is the first one to calm down enough. to actually do something. So he picks up like a what a lead pipe at the like side of it and uses his technique, which he does wear the goggles already for like Nanamis goggles. Like hold on, crap. Like the goggles, right? He wears those already because so that he can see the ratio bar better. So then he like oh, I need to get that Jeff get I'm gonna get flamed for that. But if you watched it, the anime or manga, it doesn't really matter. It's when Nanami first shows up in like with Yuji, like the scene where he like pushes his glasses up with his two fingers and takes out that curse out like one like in a one hit. You know what I'm talking about? I hope you do. Or whoever's listening to this, I hope you do. Um, I hope you know what I'm talking about. Like, when he uses that, I, I think you all get it. But yet he like opens it up like the thing enough where like he doesn't take the villain down clearly. He just like gets it weak enough where he can grab Danky and throw him out and get out of the way of the sludge villain himself. I'm sorry about the stuttering. Uh, and then they hear the familiar voice of Alma. I am here. Wait, hold on. I'm gonna try that again. I am here. Wait, no, was it Detroit? I don't think it matters. Delaware, smash. I feel cringe now. But yet they, well, uh, All Might takes the sludge villain down, and yeah, that's the end of the sludge villain. They all help out. Am I still recording? I am. Okay, good. I thought I just quit recording. But yet he, they all help him clean up the sludge villain and put him in the bottles. Um, who would, like Midoriya at how he acts, he wouldn't like fanboy, but like Danky and Bakugo would sort of fanboy. Like, hey, they would all ask a question, right? Uh, and ask for an autograph. They all would clearly. But yet, yeah. So yeah, they all get an autograph from All Might, right? And then uh, and then they would all get home, blah blah blah, play a game or two, or like Bakugo and Denki would play the game, but yet like and Midoriya would be like off watching, but yet still reading a book, but yet watching at the same time as they're playing, and yeah, and then I will do a time skip, right, to the 10 months training they train, blah blah blah, right. So we get through the 10 months of training, studying, and all that crap, and all that stuff, I mean. And then, and then, uh, we get to the UA entrance exam where they, well, they get there. Instead of Midoriya actually falling on his face, it is Danky who almost falls on his face, but instead of, your Raka or Raka. I can't say it. Instead of her like, but she goes for it to like get Danky and float him back up. But um, not not well, yeah, Nanami. I am so sorry. Um, Deku would grab him by the hair first and pull him up, like in the recent anime. Like how Nanami. I I still don't know. I still haven't watched the episode. No, I have, right? Yeah, I have. Um, but the clip, like the part where I don't know, but he grabs his hair and you, the meme where, not meme, like Nanami grabbing the person's like hair and pulling him. Like, I feel like you all know what I mean, right? He pulls him back up by the hair, right? Okay. Well, besides that, they all get in. Right. Um, and then they all like get through to they all like pass the not practical, the exam, like the written portion of the exam. And then we get to the practical uh portion of the exam, right? And they all would get different areas. Like Bakugo and actually no, Midoriya would get a different area than Denki and Bakugo. Bakugo and Denki would have the same area, same like exam area. Okay, and then okay to the start of the exam, they all like line up right to get ready to go, and Midoriya gets like tries to get up to the front, but Tenya or Ida still stops him and says, "Hey, don't go mess with that girl." And like how in most like fanfics, like they stop him and says, "Don't like bother her," like that. Y'all remember that? You know that? If you read fanfics, you should maybe. I don't know. But yet he tries to get up front, but Ida stops him and uh, like, but before Ida could even touch his shoulder, like, uh, Midoriya moves out of the way so that he can't touch him. But yet he looks at him and says, I'm not trying to get to I'm not trying to go up and bother that girl. I'm just trying to get up to the front or frontish. Okay. I have I don't know, but that type of like talk, like I'm not trying to bother her. Okay. I'm just trying to get up to the front. And then we hear a and then they hear a familiar voice in present mic. I'm terrible at impressions. I'm just trying to because I think it's hilarious. All right, little listeners, are you all ready to start the practical exam? I'm terrible. Okay, I'm terrible at impressions. But yeah, he screams, "Can I get it? Oh yeah!" And nobody does it. But you hear one guy, some like off-screen guy, yell, "Oh yeah!" Like you know what I'm talking about. Like there's that one guy who really likes Present Mike and listens to everything he does, watches everything he does. Like, you know what I'm talking about? That one guy. But then he goes to count down and goes, three, two, one, and the gates open, and then they all scatter throughout the city. But yet, well, before we go to Midoriya destroying all the destroying some robots, we are gonna go focus up to the other pros that are watching down there like Aizawa, Nezu, these other pros that are here there to watch, um, like watch the up and coming heroes, like the students, soon to be students. Like you know what I'm talking about? To watch the examinees is what I'm the word I'm looking for. And they see Midoriya destroying the robots, in like one hit. And uh, who would ask? Mirko. Mirko would ask, "Hey Nezu, what's that kid's quirk?" And Nezu would go and try to look up Midori's name, which he does find. Uh, and Nezu would say, "Oh, I'm gonna do another impression. Bear with me, okay? I'm terrible at them, but I want to try. Okay. Well, it says ratio. His quirk makes him see a translucent, like a ratio bar, and there's a dot on that said bar to mark out a weak spot in the enemy. So they look back. Well, all like the heroes that were listening to Mirko and Nezu explain the quirk, Midori's quirk, would focus back on him and his like him going through the robots left and right, destroying some 1 pointers, 2 pointers, and mostly three pointers, and running around and just like going straight through the line. And like say there is like a big line of robots, like let's say I don't want to do like huge number, like 8 robots in a row, and he goes and like he starts running and holds out his arm, or like he goes through one after one other and like just hitting him, and he doesn't really have a weapon. He's not really using anything but his hands, but they are wrapped up in like how like you know how well, if you ever watched WWE like wrestling, I don't feel like any of you have, but like the tape they wrap around their hands, or like the medical tape that like Zabuza has around his face. He has it around his hands so that he protects his hands a little bit from hitting each robot and like scratching his hand, instead of like he just has like gloves basically. Like yeah. Okay, he has gloves on and like going through one after another. Okay. And he keeps on going through the 8 of them, and then he sees like more. That's like the end of the robots, like in the on the road. So he looks down. He goes through an alleyway, and does like the parkour, like the wall jump, like, and goes back and forth between the walls of the buildings, and like yeah, goes through the like between the walls and gets to the top of the buildings, and he looks down like the with like the road and sees people running away from the 0 pointer. So I'm gonna take you like would it be like a like a time skip back, like a couple, like 30 minutes earlier, right? While they were watching him like destroy all the robots, the 8 of them, right? Did I say 8? I know I think I said 8. I don't know, the robots, right? Nezu goes, maybe we give him, hold on, let me get back to the list. Maybe we give him a challenge. Maybe no, that's not what it says. He goes, maybe I, maybe we send out the 0 pointer. And he pulls out he presses a button on his chair and pops out a giant red button that says, no touch, no, don't press, like it says 0 pointer on it, like a big zero, right? And he slams his paw down straight onto the button, and like he feels, and like the other contestants and Midoriya feel like a crumb, like a tremor in it, like on the like the in the like the test area. So, and then we'll go back to Modoria, going back and forth between the walls and getting on top of that roof, right? And so he looks down the road lane, and sees a giant robot walking through, and he thinks, well, that's the zero point and my time to go. And but yet he hears a scream, like, help me. Yeah, well, prepare. Impression alert. Help me! I'm so sorry. That was terrible. But yeah, it's like a woman's scream type deal. And he looks down and sees someone stuck between the rubble, as we know, as actually no, it's actually yeah, it will be Ochako. So he runs over there. He likes he takes like a piece of like a antenna, like a lightning rod, right? On from like the building and jumps down and like stabs or tries to stab the lightning rod as hard as he tries to like put it into like the wall so he like slides down easier and he gets down and he starts booking it to the woman, the girl. Um and he gets to it and looks at how close um the uh the robot is, right? And like he starts using his quirk ratio and starts breaking up the uh the what is that called? The rumble? No. Rumble? No. Crap. I feel stupid now. Uh the the stuff that fell on it. I can't I'm blanking at the word. I'm blanking at the word, but yeah, he starts breaking up all this stuff. His hands are actually getting like his gloves rip at this point, and he just starts going, and he sees one more kid, and it's with blue hair and a blue tracksuit, and he yells, "Hey, come here and grab this girl because you'll be fat." Like it's Ida, right? But yet he doesn't know his name, so he yells out to the kid and says, "Hey!" Like I'm gonna use a lowercase scream, like, "Hey, kid, dude, yeah, you!" And like Ida stops and points at himself, like, "Me?" And says, and Midori says, "Yeah, you, come here." And so Ida runs back to him and Ochako or Uraraka, and he gives Ida her because she can't walk with her ankle, her broken broken ankle or something. I forget what it was in the anime. But yet he hands her over to Ida and he looks how close the thing is and its foot is right on top of them. Like and so he pushes Ida and Uraraka away and he uses uh what was it called? Well, he goes overtime. Like, but yet he doesn't realize it. So his like quirk goes haywire, and he like goes to hit it, and he hits it, and the foot goes straight like up, and it starts to fall backwards. So he hits it at like the foot, and the foot like flies. Like he hits it in the weak spot, and the foot flies. Well, not the whole tire, like the foot. Well, it goes off balance like the 0 pointer goes up off balance and falls backwards. Uh, yeah, it falls backwards. So he's safe. But yet he feels like like something happened while doing that, which is called overtime. And if you don't know how overtime works in Jujutsu Kaisen, Nanami has like an ability called overtime, and it like ups his curse energy to an output of like crazy amount, a crazy amount of output, right? And he gets stronger. His techniques get stronger, like his ratio technique gets stronger. So that's how Deku got like hit it once and it caught off balance, right? I hope you understand that. So yeah, um, so yeah, that happens. They all get checked on, but yet, did I say Mirako? Yeah, but yet before Midoriya can leave, and well, before he leaves, and he's still waiting on Denki and Bakugo to come on to find him. Uh, Aizawa, Nezu, and Mirako. No, she's not even a teacher, so she's just there watching and comes down with them. So okay, and Mirko comes down, and maybe another one. I don't know. Maybe Vlad King or something. Someone sees him and walks over to him, checking his hands. Like he's checking his hands for any like major things. But he already got healed, so but they're all bandaged up. His hands are bandaged. Why can I can say it once but not twice. Okay. Bandaged up, and he sees like heroes and like a teacher and the principal walking up to him, and he looks worried. Like it's he is worried, but it doesn't show that he's worried. But he is worried. I hope he like his face is still like stone cold, like neutral. He has a neutral face, right? And he's also checking his goggles or glasses. I don't know what you would call those, but yet no, no, he doesn't check that. Never mind. He's never had those. Okay, but yet he looks at them, and like Aizawa motions him to come over and to talk. And when he gets there, he says, Midori says, "Do you need anything?" No, he would introduce himself. No, he would say, uh, hello? Do you all need anything? And Aizawa would say, uh, no. Nezu would pop out of Aizawa's scarf and scarf said, "Good job, kid." But not like I can't do impressions, man. I don't. But yet, yeah, he would say, "Good job, kid," or whatever. And they would like to talk to him about his quirk a little more, like to see the details about it and how much he has trained with it. But Midori says some along the lines of, "I've trained with it all my life because if I did something wrong with an item, it would be absolutely shattered or something if I hit it in the right spot." Like, like something he trained with it his whole life because it was dangerous if he's hit a actual person with it. So he would have to scale his power, right? But he's trained, blah, blah, blah. They would ask him about his training, what he does. Uh, yeah. And they would also say something along the lines of, well, Nezu would say, like, and give him like a spoiler about how he passes. He would also say, I'll be, or actually no, uh, Aizawa would say, uh, impression and blurt. He would say something along the lines of, I want, uh, oh, I can't wait to see you in my class. I want to see what you can do. Or like something along the lines of that, okay? But yeah, we'll time skip again. They get their, like, uh, Midori gets his newsletter, like the letter from UA, and like calls the up, or no, yeah, no, he calls Bakugo and says, "Did you get your letter yet?" And he said, and Bakugo would say, "Yeah, I did." And Dun's face did also. And okay, I'm terrible at this. Okay, impressions. I'm terrible, but I want to do it because I want to get good at it. Okay. And but Bakugo would say, "Yeah, I got mine." And Dun's face did too. Did too. So, and then Midoriya says, "We should all meet up, uh, like at my house to be with each other when they open." So they would all get there, open it. They would be, well, they all wouldn't get All Might. Like Bakugo would get All Might, and Denki would also get All Might, but Midoriya would get Aizawa saying it, and and uh and Midoriya's like favorite hero when he was growing up was Aizawa. So yeah, or no, it wasn't Aizawa. It was Sir Night Eye, because I got an idea for well, his hero costume will be a suit. Well, what you're saying in the picture on screen, and what Nanami wears. That's gonna be his hero costume, basically. But yet we're gonna do another time skip to the beginning of UA when they are all like they all what would you call it? Still recording. Okay, good. I was making sure. But they would all get there at the same time. They would all enter. Well, actually, no. Bakugo would get there first, and he's arguing with Ida about, I don't know. But Denki and Midoriya will get there already. Will get there after Bakugo, and they would be, well, they would pick their seats. Like those two would be right beside each other, right? And Bakugo would be like, no, they would all be in their canon seats, okay? So, and so everybody's begin to be flooding in, all the students in class 1A, which there's no changes. It's the same characters, right? Um, but then Aizawa appears and blah blah blah. He tells them to all put on the uniforms, and but he also says to Midori to stay back, and like, yeah, he wants him to stay back. And no, never mind, no, I'm joking. Okay, so they all get it on, but I'm gonna also do a scene in there. Okay. Uh, but yeah, when they all the boys get into the changing room, right? I feel like we all see what's going to happen. I did this in my other what if also. Um, what's Mineta? Mineta finds the hole, and he tells Danky about it, which we all know. They're purrs. They both are. So those two would be trying to peek in the hole, and Juro on the other side of the wall would be listening to them talking about the whole, and and uh Midoriya would come over and grab both of those, which they both have their uniforms already on, the training uniforms on already. So he picks them up both by the collars from like behind and looks at them both. So he turns around and looks both of them in the eyes, right? And he says, "Do this again, and I'll turn your insides into pudding." And so he throws Mineta like to the door, but he gets caught by Pharaoh or someone. No, Shoji. Shoji like takes out an arm and like grabs him before he could hit the ground, and uh he would throw Denki straight to the ground, but not like in a hard way, but like in a way where he learns his lesson, but yet he would still do it, and like like Midoriya already has his on, but not all the way, like it's not zipped up yet, but yet he like stands in front of the hole, like covering it so that those two would get out of there, and he'll be the last one out besides like Todoroki. And Todoroki looks back at Midoriya and looks like he looks at him like in a weird way, but yet like an improving way. Like he improved of that, but yet like a confused way, right? You get what I'm saying? I hope you do. But yet again, uh, yeah, we get outside with them and we're doing the ball throw. So Aizawa says says impression order. Will the number one in the entrance exam walk up? And Bakugo is still cocky enough to like, I know, like to the agree where he knows Midori will do just enough to get in and like a little bit above so that he can get in the same class, like enough where he will like get in, but yet like not to be the best out of them all, but yet with the saving points, like the hero points, not the villain points, the hero points, and Aizawa says, and he sees Bakugo. I mean, he sees Bakugo walk up and like act. I know I'm the best. Like I'm the top one. And Aizawa says, "No, you're not. Get back in line before I expel your ass." Okay. So he looks dumbfounded. Like what? I said, get back in line, and he uses quirk. Hair rags it up. Okay, you know what I'm talking about. But and he says, "Will Izuku Midoriya come up and stand in this, and we'll go first." So he walks up and and for like such a plain looking guy to like he looks plain, right? Like nothing special about him, but yet they all look like sort of shocked. Like besides like Danky, and like Danky does not look shocked because he trained with Midoriya more than like Bakugo did train with them because Bakugo didn't want to train with them. Okay, get it? So they all didn't train with each other at the same time, right? But like Midoriya and Danky trained more together with with each other instead of like them all three training, right? But like those two, they all three cleaned up Dagama Beach together, so it's still cleaned, right? Um, but yet, but yet, like he walks up to the line and Aizawa throws him up the ball, right? And he says, "Throw this as far. How far was your throw in middle school?" And Izuku says like 50 meters or something. I don't remember. And so Aizawa then says, now throw it with your quirk, and use your quirk while throwing it. And so Midoriya throws the ball up and hits the weak point, and it goes launching, not as far as in canon or anything, not as far as Bakugo. Like he would probably get as far as like Hiroshima in this sense, but yeah, like a couple more. So I'm gonna say like 531 meters, right? I feel like that's a far because I don't use like the metric table. I'm American. I use feet and pounds instead of like feet and whatever. In kilograms, that's what it is, kilograms. I don't use that. I'm American. So it goes flying 531 meters, right? Right. Um, and with that, he would get like middle of the field. He would get like 10th, okay? But yet Maneno still would get last somehow. Well, not somehow. Yeah, he would get last, right? He would get last and then blah blah blah. He gets expelled and whatever. Not really though. It's like he just has to clean up the class for like a month or something. 2 weeks actually. For the next 2 weeks he has to clean up the class after like the class is done. Right? So everyone goes, they would get their same spots as usual as canon, right? Besides Midoriya. But everyone else would get the same. Okay. And then we will, no, I want to at least get the heroes and villains, at least to where, right? Okay, so we do a time skip, 2 week time skip. Um, yeah, 2 week time skip. No, a week time skip. Yeah, a week time skip to have the heroes versus training, uh, training thing. Okay. So it will be a 2-on-2 like canon, but not on the same teams. Okay. So it will be Midoriya and Hiroshima, I'm gonna say, versus versus Bakugo and Kaminari. So Ida will switch team a mem so Denki and whoever teams they were on originally would just switch. I'm not gonna go through the whole entire thing. I am gonna do uh this one fight and then we'll end it. Okay. So yeah, the start the villains would get in there first, place the bomb down, whatever, and then the heroes are let go and to find the bomb and whatever, and they find the building. Uh, they put it in. So they start to go in, but before that, they make a plan because Midoriya knows Bakugo will be the front line fighter and leave Denki by himself to guard the bomb so that he can fight me, right? He knows that for a fact. right? He knows that. So he thinks of a plan, which we'll see in a minute, and they go through. They go they get into the building and are start to climb up the stairs, right? And then they hear booms like explosions coming from like uh around the floor above, and they know he's coming down. So they get into like a separate room. Like Kirishima gets like to a room, like into a doorway, like uh beside like Midoriya, not Denki, Deku. They would get into like a room, or Kirishima would get into the room, right? Which, before we get into the fight scene, I want to explain his hero costume and his uh support like stuff, support stuff, like his goggles. It's a support item, and well, his hero costume is what you see in the picture, like Nanami's get up, and he would also have like the cleaver, well, not like a cleaver, like the weapon Nanami uses, which is basically just a cleaver, but wrapped in like a tape or something. So yeah, and the weapon is like, I want to give it like, it's fireproof, and like it's fireproof, right? And like it's steel, so it can like bounce bullets off. So in case he like needs to like bat a bullet away or something insane, he can do it. But yet, so he goes into the hallway and he sees Bakugo at the back of it, and he goes um to like you can see him at the end of the hallway, right? You can see him at the end of the hallway. Like Bakugo can see Midoriya, and Bakugo says, uh fight me, fight me. And Midoriya says, that's what I'm here to do. And but like Bakugo would launch off with the explosions at Midoriya, and behind him he hears like a wall breaking because like Kirishima went through the thing, and he heard the boot, like the him go by. And he hears some, and he like Bakugo would look behind them before getting there, and sees uh he sees Kirishima go through a wall and yell, "Oh yeah!" Like the Kool-Aid man. Yeah, I'm gonna do that way too often. That's hilarious. I need to do that more often. That's just funny. Okay. But yet he breaks through it and starts running up the stairs. But yet before Bakugo could turn around and go after him, he turns his head back around and sees uh Midoriya with the like the weapon, like the cleaver like thing. And he bats him away into the wall, like with a ratio like bar thing. He hits him in the weak spot, right into a wall, crashing through and landing outside. So, and now Midoriya goes through, like to with he runs with uh I'll also explain how the goggle works, okay? Right? It works like to see the ratio bar clearer, like in like a dark area, and just clear in general, so that he actually knows. where to hit like better because sometimes before he had the goggles, he would like get like almost hit the bar, like the spot, but yet miss. But so it wouldn't be as strong as like it would normally, right? So uh Deku would run with Kirishima and catch up to him finally and say, I dealt with Bakugo, but yet not for long. So they can also hear like they could also hear Bakugo's explosions going up like the building. So they know that he's gonna be there, but yet that could also be a trick. No, they can't hear it because he would be down for like a while. But yet, like they would almost get there. They would be outside the door with the bomb. They would look in, see the bomb there and Danky there. Uh, right. So, um, Midoriya would give Kirishima like a piece, like a rubber, like rubber tape or something. Not like the capture tape, but the tape, like a rubber, like what is that called? A rubber like blanket, so that like the so that he like Kirishima could stand more electricity and like hold down Kaminari and like get him down and all. So we would see like Kirishima run in as fast as he can, and he would harden up and like tackle Kaminari down, but like Kaminari got caught off guard because he was like staring out the window or something, or staring at the camera in like the building, like because we know there's cameras so that the people can watch. So he would tackle him down, but before Midori can get through to the bomb, uh, Bakugo would come through the window and be holding the pin to his gauntlet and says, "Move or you die." And so, like, Midoriya is thinking, "Can I make it there before the explosion gets to me?" But yet, also, he thinks of the fact that Kirishima and Denki are right there but in front of him. So if he pulls it, uh, if Bakugo pulls the pin and explodes at all, uh, Denki, Kirishima, and he could get hurt. So he's thinking logically here. And so he tells Kirishima to, like, in Morse code or something, they made like a code, like Morse code or something, I don't know. He tells him, from, get up off the ground and run to the bomb because he's right there. He is closer than Midoriya. So, and Bakugo sees Kirishima move and he pulls it. He pulls the pin, bang. But before he, before the explosion would get to Denki and Kirishima, something happens. Everyone can see a ratio. Like the one time they can all see the ratio line. They see it happen and it cuts it dispels the explosion like outright. No more explosion, just like the ringing noise in their heads. So it goes off. Midoriya jumps in front of like Kaminari and Kirishima and cuts the explosion like and dispels the explosion and like with like the ratio his quirk with his quirk, right? He uses it to to dispel the explosion, but yet there's still smoke everywhere, and you can hear over the intercoms, um, Oh crap, I forgot to do the funniest part. Um, we're gonna do a time skip back when they first find out they're doing hero training, like the hero versus villains, and they could hear like the loud stomps uh coming through through the hallway, and then the door flies off its handles like as like and uh Midoriya gets up from like from sharpening his pencil or something. He and like and the doors fly off and almost crush uh like Midoriya, but he moves out of the way and looks at the door like what just happened, and All Might would come through and say, "I'm walking through the door like a normal person." Hold on, I'm gonna do the expression. Sorry. Uh, I okay, ready? I am walking through the door like a normal person. I don't know if that got better or worse. But yet he would come through the door, and Midoriya would look at him like he's insane, and like he's right beside the door, like where it landed, and like he's sitting down by this point, like because he's on the ground, right? And he looks at All Might like he's insane for even doing that, and then All Might just ignores him by and like while Midoriya and Aizawa also are screaming at him, and he looks back at like Aizawa like, why are you yelling at me? You and Aizawa says, you almost killed a student. Like you almost killed a student. Like, are you insane for even trying to do that? Oh, and he then looks at the door, and the door is standing there, like scared to even move after that, right? Okay, so let's go back to where the fight was happening. Okay, he Midori dispels the explosion and touched the bomb, and Kirishima touched the bomb, so the heroes win the first round, the first match, right? And then the other fights happen, uh, and we'll do a time skip for another 2 weeks, right? I know this isn't the correct timeline in like My Hero Academia. I don't remember if the heroes versus villains happened uh the day after or the week after the ball throwing or like the like that. I don't know at that. I don't remember. But when we get to we'll done do a time skip for another week. And Aizawa says, have any of you heard of the USJ? And that's where we're gonna end it, okay? That's where we're going to end it. And I wanted to ask you a question, okay? If you would like more content than like what ifs and like rants of stuff, or uh, like besides what ifs, like if any of you would like want more than what ifs, like I don't know, reviews of music, like music reviews, like nerdcore, like if you ever heard of like nerdcore anime rap, like reviews from me, uh just let me know in the comments. I want to do more like that. I may create a second channel to do that or just do it here. I probably will just do it here just so that it's easier. I don't have to create another channel. It will just be way easier for me to do. But yet, yeah, that's the end of this video. Goodbye. I hope, well, actually, go watch my other What If. And a reminder, this Friday will be another installment of What If Deku had the eight gates. And I will be doing a special on the day before Valentine's Day or the day after Valentine's Day. I don't know, but yet I don't know. I'll make a community post on the video at some point. I'll probably after this. You'll probably see it before this video is uploaded. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. Um, oh yeah, I'll be doing specials for like every holiday because I feel like it's gonna be fun. And plus, I got a what if idea I want to do at some point. It will probably be it's I will tell you what it has to do with. It has to do with Ben 10, the Omnitrix. Okay. That's what it has to deal with, okay? So, yeah, I'll be giving maybe not, I don't know. Maybe hints. I don't know. I don't know yet. So, yeah, that's the real end of it. Goodbye.